What is the BINSR Report? It's the buyer's inspection notice and seller's response. And if you're buying a home in Arizona, you need these tips. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Lindsay with the Wise Move AZ team at Realty One Group. If you want to stay up to date on all things Anthem and real estate, then you need to hit that subscribe button. Pro tip, you're also going to want to hit the little bell icon so that you're the first to know when our new videos are posted every single Thursday. As your Anthem Arizona realtor, I've worked with a number of families to ensure a smooth purchase of their home. A lot of work goes into buying a home, and one of the key pieces is navigating the BINSR process. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, BINSR is the abbreviated name we give to the buyer's inspection notice and seller's response document. If you want to have a copy of the BINSR document in front of you while we go through these tips, put me on pause really quick, jump down to the description box, click the link, and then come right back here so that we can go through it together. It's okay, I'll wait. Ready? The BINSR is a 2-page document that's completed at the end of the buyer's due diligence period, which, unless otherwise negotiated, ends 10 days after contract acceptance. Okay, let's assume that you, the buyer, completed all your desired inspections. Now what? Now you'll complete the first page of the BINSR with the help of your realtor. You have 3 options. You can 1, accept the premises as is, 2, reject the premises altogether, or 3, you can give the seller the opportunity to correct the disapproved items. Option 1 is not all that common here in Anthem. The inspection usually reveals something that should be corrected, repaired, or replaced, even if it's just something small. Option 2 is not that common either. Rarely will the buyer walk away from the sale altogether without giving the seller the opportunity to correct the items they disapprove of. That being said, we've seen it done. For example, if you find out that there's a sex offender living next door and you have small children, there's really no amount of work that the seller can do to make the property acceptable to you, and therefore you'll likely cancel the contract. Option 3, giving the seller the opportunity to correct the disapproved items, is hands down the most common thing we see. In this case, you, the buyer, will make a list of the items you want the seller to correct. This is typically done by making reference to the inspection report or reports. Now, for the rest of this video, let's assume that you went with option 3 and you've given the seller a list of items that you want them to correct, repair, or replace. The seller now has 3 options. They can 1, agree to complete all requested repairs, 2, state that they're unable or unwilling to complete any of the repairs, i.e. they outright reject your request completely, or 3, they can respond with a list of items that they are willing to fix. Again, in this situation, option 3 is what we typically see, but the choice is theirs. If the seller elects to do option 2 or 3, the buyer can still cancel the contract. No matter which side of the transaction you're on, it's very important that you approach these negotiations carefully and thoughtfully. Probably don't want to lose the house simply because the seller is refusing to make a small repair, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're asking for what's reasonable given the price of the home. So what are our top 5 tips for helping buyers successfully navigate the BINSR process? Number 1, don't ask for every single little thing that's on the inspection report. If your realtor is having trouble fitting all your repair requests on the space provided on the BINSR, you might be asking for too much. If you list every little thing that the inspector notes, you risk offending the seller. If you offend the seller, they may refuse to complete any repairs. Also, if you ask for every single little thing, it may be perceived that you're expecting a perfect home. Newsflash, no house is perfect. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask for repairs. You absolutely should. But if there's things you can live without or things you're just planning to replace anyways, consider skipping those. For example, if the inspector notes that the fan's not working, but you really don't like that fan and you know you're going to replace it when you move in, don't bother asking for it to be corrected. Number 2, get estimates. If possible, it's always a good idea to get estimates so that you know how much it's going to cost to fix the items that you're asking for. Because let's be honest, for the seller, it's all going to come down to money. They want to know how much it's going to cost them to keep this sale. Once you have the estimates, take a look at the total. Is this a reasonable amount to ask for given the price of the home? Also, if you got a really good deal on the home, be careful how much you ask for at this stage. Number 3, ask that the repairs be done by a professional. This is imperative. For example, if you're asking for roof repairs to be completed, you'll want to specify that those repairs need to be done by a qualified roofer. We really want to ensure that any repairs are done by someone who knows what they're doing. You really don't want those roof repairs done by a handyman that has very little experience with roof repairs, or worse, the seller who works a 9-to-5 office job and has never stepped foot on a roof before in their life. Number 4, get receipts. Ensure that you get receipts prior to closing. These receipts serve a couple of purposes. Firstly, they provide proof that the work was completed. Secondly, they provide proof that the work was paid for. You don't want to close and find out that a contractor is trying to put a lien on your home for unpaid work. Lastly, the receipts provide details about who completed the work, just in case you need to get in touch with them at a later date. So get copies of the receipts and keep them in a safe place, okay? Number 5, inspect the repairs. This is usually done during the final walkthrough, which typically occurs 1 to 3 days prior to closing. Take your BINSR and your inspection report to the house and go through every single item that was supposed to be corrected. I know it's hard because you're getting so excited and you just want to measure for furniture and move in already, but stay focused. You need to know that those repairs are done prior to closing. If they're not done, say something immediately. So there you have it. If you haven't already grabbed your copy of the BINSR document, simply click the link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with your friends. See you next Thursday.